Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family.
And let's do the next one a little faster, brighter.
Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. We got John Dillingham joining us again while Jeff's off doing one of his things. Yay, thank you. So we got John, Jeff, and then we got the outlier, Steve, over there. I'm Reverend Sharon. Whoa, yeah. He's got the power. He's got the power. Anyway, I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, and I'm so happy to see you here this morning, on this rainy fall day where it's so nice and warm to come in here in community. And if you're with us for the first time, hope you received a little thing of popcorn. Thank you for popping in. If you're with us online, love to have you fill out a little form, connect with us. We put you on our email list, or here in person we have connection cards. And the coffee bar is open here during service. Online, you got to make your own. Sorry about that. We are a prayer ministry. Our prayer box is over there. If you have a concern or a celebration, our prayer team would like to hold you in prayer for the next 30 days, and then we forward it to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer. So whatever's going on, you are well supported. Let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. This comes out of the vision statement. Just imagine a world that is powerfully transformed through a growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. We say shared, understanding there's not like find the right path, ring the bells. It's not a winning thing. It's about honoring each other, whatever path we're on and wherever we are on that path. One light, that one presence, but many lamps contributing to it. Let us affirm together the enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. And with that, Greg, turn it over to you.
In the silence, there is a sacred space, a secret meeting place. Love is here. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, God is here. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there, peace is there. Truth is there. Love is there.
As we settle into that inner silence, this is a perfect time for prayer. Anything interesting happened this week? Well, coming up tomorrow is Veterans Day, and we certainly, in our prayerful honoring and just thanking for all those who have served. Any of our veterans here, I'd love for you to stand so we can love up on you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Because you served, you know, we could vote last week. Oh, yes.
I'd just like to remind everybody not only is it Veterans Day, but it's Armistice Day, which marks the day of peace. The World War II ended, so remember this is a day of peace in addition to veterans, and it's the veterans who hold our peace. So thank you very much.
And there's a new movement going on with not only the red poppy, but also a white poppy to represent peace. There's a whole, so 2 colors of poppy, I love that. Also, today we are having, following service, I'm holding a caring circle over in the activity room. If anybody needs to decompress from the election, there's information on the table. But last week, I shared this prayer with you, and it's appropriate, I think, to share it again. After the election, some will rejoice. Let them not gloat. After the election, some will grieve. Let them not despair. Heal our way forward, soften our hardened hearts, inspire us to be just, kind, and humble. May we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and hearts to hope. And so it is. And in the bigger frame of praying for our neighbors, I want to celebrate this man. He's from South Africa, and he has created a glove that translates signing into spoken word. Is that, oh, it just gives me chills. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, there's all this stuff going on in the world, and some of it is just so brilliant, moving us forward to be able to communicate with each other better. So, yeah, you. That was excellent. Also going around right now is a sign-up list for Thanksgiving. Halloween is over, which means Thanksgiving is next. So we're having a potluck in 2 weeks. Love to have you join us and love to have you share a list. So that's, Nan's got the list that she's going to start sending around. And it's also going to be Friendship Sunday. So if you have a friend, what a great day to bring them, because we have a beautiful spread afterwards. And then after we eat, we get to decorate for Christmas. So it'll be a fun day. That's on the 24th. And with that, I'd like to bless Cynthia Jean. This is our 4th baptism since we've been. This is a fertile place. No, 5th baptism. Do we still have the baby?
She's getting changed.
She's getting changed. Well, you know what? Then why don't we come back to Cynthia? We can do that.
Sure.
Would that give you a few more minutes? Would that be good?
That will buy us a few more minutes.
That will buy you a few more minutes. Okay. Well, we'll go by that. We'll come back to that. And we'll get to know each other at the table a little bit. So this is about, we've been doing this Game of Life series. What is your favorite piece of Monopoly? And if you had to choose, what would be a new piece? And I want to tell you, if you're a historical gamer, the four on each side and the outside are some of the original pieces. They took 3 of them away and added a dinosaur, a rubber ducky, and a penguin. Now, you may not have heard the protest about this, but anyway, so at the table, you know, just think about what's your favorite, what's the piece you always wanted to play with? And if you could create a piece, what would it be?
I always wanted to either be the race car or the dog. Those were my 2 big ones.
The little Scotty.
And as far as like creating a new one, that's a hard one. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Okay, think about it for a minute.
How about you?
Yeah, well, I did like the wheelbarrow and the race car because they moved, like things that were functional. And the thumb I liked because it was functional.
Okay.
I could stick it on top of my finger when I was little.
Oh, the thimble, yeah.
And I think if I had a new one, being ecologically, I'd like maybe a tree.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because, you know, this Monopoly is this whole thing about building houses, and, you know, they cut down a lot of trees, so a little eco.
I'm going to go with the tree as well.
You're going to go with the tree,
yes,
too?
Yes, so I couldn't think of one, but
the
you
tree's
provided
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a tree hugger from way back.
There's been all kinds of suggestions.
Yeah. So those three for sure are in, right? So
Well,
those three
and
new
but
ones?
they've just run a contest where you could take out, you could bring back one of the discontinued ones, and
I don't- I
get rid of
wouldn't-
one of the new ones. And they brought back the thimble, got rid of the dinosaur.
Okay.
So
Wow,
that's the latest.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, little kids wouldn't be playing, but that flat iron, I don't think that needs to be in there
But it
personally.
slides. Okay, so you take the flat iron out.
All right, should we open the song,
Oh, I think we got.
or should
you
we
can
go
bring me
back
back
to the
on.
baptism now? Okay.
Okay, we know that change must come from within, and Cynthia has changed. So if you'd like to come up, do you want to come on up so we can bless this beauty? Oh my goodness. Oh, be still my heart. Oh. So if any of you haven't met her yet, this is Cynthia Jean, her mother Deshawn, her father CJ, Auntie, and Deshawn's mom Jeannie. Hi, welcome. I'm so glad to have you with us. And by the way, Unity has a lot to do with this because they met here. Yeah, well. You have brought here this little one, remembering that before she was yours, she was a child of God. And it is your privilege to stand and sponsor her. Guard well this trust. This child comes to you endowed with infinite possibilities of good. She comes to you to teach you as well as to learn from you. Today we acknowledge God's gracious blessing of the trust placed in you and your acceptance of it. We believe and affirm that you are worthy and well qualified to fulfill the obligations of your sponsorship to raise in grace and truth this child committed for a time to your care. I now am going to invite you to do your covenant for your daughter. Oh, you know what? Let me get a microphone over here. Oh, I can just, yeah.
Not that one, not that one.
Oh, not that one.
This one?
I'm sorry, Steve, I forgot to.
Yeah, looks like we'll get there. Okay, there you go. We've got a little tension on it.
Okay.
To our child, Cynthia Jean, we pledge our love. In doing this, we seek to live our life in such a way that our footsteps in the sand of life will lead you in ways that will result in you fulfilling your divine purpose.
We pledge to you that we will look beyond appearances to behold your indwelling Christ self, and in so doing, encourage you to express your perfect self through your words and your actions.
He's going to give us one.
We will believe in your dreams, understand your doubts, walk with you in your fears, laugh with you, play with you, and grow with you in all your days. We commit ourselves to tell the truth to you in love, to nurture and nourish our own personal relationship with God so that you might come to know that your relationship with Spirit is now and will always be your primary relationship. And in seeing our example, you will learn to keep your own counsel with God moment by moment.
This is our covenant to you. In return for this pledge to you, we ask that you so believe in our belief in you, that this belief will support you in choosing thoughts, behaviors, and activities that are worthy of you, God's holy and beloved child.
Thank you. I'm going to, yeah, and if you keep it kind of close, because at the end when, so if any of you haven't been to a Unity blessing, baptism, christening, whatever you like to call it, Unity believes that everyone is born as an original blessing, not born in original sin. So this christening is performed with rose petals. The rose is a symbol of beauty and healing. It unfolds like life unfolds. The white represents the purity of this new life. Roses possess an essence of fragrance. And we know that Cynthia Jean will lend her own unique essence to this world, blessing it and us with her presence. The rose petals symbolize the love of God, the beauty of divinity that lies within each and every one of us, and also the spiritual awakening that we behold taking place in this child as she travels life's journey. So I'm going to invite you to say I'm going to take the child. Hi. Oh my goodness. So if you would say her full name aloud.
Cynthia Jean Sparkle Sneed Pratt.
I see the sparkle. So Cynthia Jean Sparkle Sneed Pratt. I baptize you in the name of that one power and one presence, what we call God, the divine, the fullness, the superconsciousness. And I baptize you in the name of the Christ, that spark of divinity sparkles in you at all times. And I baptize you in the name of the Holy Spirit, that activity of God that moves in and through you in all that you say and do and think and experience. I'm going to hand her back. Oops. Okay. So, it's been said that it takes a village to raise a child. So as her spiritual family, her spiritual village, we are each caretakers for Cynthia Jean. May we fulfill her with joy, the loving care of our spiritual role in her life. We join our thoughts, our goodwill, asking that a mantle of love and peace might embrace her for all of her days. And family, what I'd like you to do is to give her your wish, your blessing for her life. What would you like to see come out in all those sparkles of the divinity?
I'd like for her to be a good woman, living for Christ.
All right, a good woman lives for Christ.
Christ.
An auntie?
I would like for her to know that and she is loved, she is worthy, she is enough, and she can do anything that she puts her mind to. I want her to just have love in her heart for everybody. I want her to know that there is no limit to what she can do and will do. I want her to know how much her parents really love her, how she was prayed for, and she is here, and she is so loved.
Oh, Mom and Dad, what would you like to bless your daughter with?
I'd like for Cynthia Jean to know that we're always there for her and that we'll support her in all that she does, and she can always come home.
I think she's ready to say her first word, I can tell.
For Cynthia, the same is for everybody else. The fulfillment of your dreams.
Thank you. And now Cynthia's trying to say something, so I'd like to share a few words that could be from her. Don't be confused by my body, and don't be confused by my size, for I've just come from the Creator, and I'm ancient and very wise. So my Cynthia to you, Cynthia Jean Sparkles, is that you live into your name, that you sparkle until the dark becomes light, till stillness becomes music. And as a congregation, we'd like to bless you by singing The Face of God.
of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. One more time. One more time. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face
got her
of
hand on it.
God.
God bless you. God bless you. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. And now you go back to your seats. We're going to join together in one big family. Can you get us, how appropriate, right? I'll get it forward there. Oh, whoop. There we go. Okay. Nothing like a baby.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Boom.
On? Yes. As I look around, I see family. I'm going to try not to cry.
Good morning, I'm Kathy Asif, facilitator of our inclusion team. Unity's daily word is freedom, inspired by 1 Peter, as servants of God, live as free people, yet do not use your freedom as a pretext for errors. Freedom is our spiritual birthright. We live our freedom when we speak our mind, pursue our dreams, and live with dignity and self-respect. It means we are self-directed and use our spiritual gifts of understanding, faith, love, and strength to guide our decisions and actions. As we do, we feel free. We do what we can to support freedom for ourselves and others. We honor and give thanks for all those whose courage and dedication in service have helped build and sustain a world where all people can know true freedom. In prayer, we envision a harmonious human community that assures everyone's basic needs are met, respects differing viewpoints, and celebrates the unique expression of God that each person is, now more than ever. Let us affirm together, the Christ within is my source of freedom. November is Native American Heritage Month. I'd like to share some information you may not know about Native American. Cherokee is the largest tribe in the U.S. There are about 175 indigenous languages spoken in the U.S. Rubber, corn, kayaks, and mouthwash. Those are amazing inventions were entirely the work of Native American design. As immigrants to the Native American lands, not all interactions were so reflective of the freedom that we hold dear as a value of our country. The Trail of Tears marks an extremely important time in history. Between 1830 and 1850, about 60,000 Native American people were forced out of their homes because of President Andrew Jackson's Indian Removal Act. You can walk parts of the Trail of Tears if you travel to Missouri. Our inclusion team is constantly on the lookout for ways we can provide equality for our diverse community. We strive to create a Unity campus that is inclusive. Our new all-gender bathroom is a result of that growing awareness. There are information sheets on our tables which explain how an all-gender bathroom serves our community. If you become aware of ways we can make our community more inclusive, please contact me or any board member to share your ideas. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Okemos String Trio.
Thank you so much. What a lovely sound for Sunday morning, anytime actually. So we've been working on the game of life and how to play it, and this book was written in the early 1920s by a woman by the name of Florence Shinn, and she was a contemporary of Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. And she starts out saying that life is not a battle but a game, and it's kind of our choice if it's a game of joy or if it's a pain of the battle as we go through life. And there's a lot of different versions of the game, as we all know, because we've been playing it for a while. There's kind of that boomerang game that we play. It's the law of karma. As Jesus said, what a man sows, he'll reap. We know that what we send out comes back to us. It may not look the same, but vibrationally it feels the same. And then there's that kind of tug of war. Do you ever play tug of war? Either way, you're going to get dirty and your hands are going to hurt. But there's a proverb that says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. That when we try to tug one way or the other, this is right or this is wrong or this is better or this is worse, we get into that tug of war. So what we want to do is move beyond that game so that we're all moving in harmony that's not causing pain and dirt and skin knees and all that other stuff. The object of the game, last week I said it's to see one's life clearly, but I think it's really about expressing one's life clearly by obliterating all those mental pictures. We've been out there collecting this error thinking images in our mind, things that we think are real that are really only an illusion, things that we think are unconquerable because we've cut ourselves off from source. And last week I shared that a prayer I'd like to use during this is the prayer of Jabez. It says, oh, would you bless me indeed and enlarge my territory? Now that could mean your physical presence, it could mean the level of your understanding. That your hand, that God's hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from error that I might not cause pain. Knowing that first really dictate to us is about not causing pain, but enlarging our territory so that we can be kind to other people, that we can be connected with other people. So it's an interesting game in that the number of players, you play it by yourself, that's a must, but at the same time you're playing it with everybody, with an infinite amount of people. So this is kind of this paradox. How can it be a solo and then also a mass player game at the same time? Well, if you think about it, though, we are each the center of our own universe. We are always interacting with everybody else who is also in the midst of their game, the midst of understanding what the world looks like to them, the midst of growing in their own spirituality. And it may be different from us, but it impacts us. We are always overlapping each other, having this great impact. So a solo game with an infinite number of players. A lot of paradoxes in life, like that we go to war to create peace. I mean, that's a paradox, right? I mean, so we're always living these things where they seem like they're opposite, but they're both true at the same time. Then we get to pick our avatar. There was a time that anybody over a certain age wouldn't know what an avatar was, but now that Facebook lets you create your own avatar, we all get in there. So we pick our game piece. What are we going to look like? If we go to Monopoly, we could be a battleship. We're going to live our life like we're going to war. We're in for a little pain because might makes right, whatever that might be. How about the thimble? Think about that. It protects us while we're mending, while we're repairing things, while we're fixing things. Making a move with a big load, we got the wheelbarrow there. There are sometimes this is the month of elimination, the power of elimination, and sometimes we need to get all that stuff out, over to the dump. The shoe, there are times that maybe our avatar is about moving our feet, about walking it out, kind of shaking the dust off our feet and moving on. When Jesus sent out the 72 apostles, and he's saying, shake the dust off your feet if you don't find peace there, if you don't find acceptance of peace. The race car, it's about time, sometimes we want to move faster. Sometimes we are so wound up, we're gung-ho, we are shooting down that racetrack. Or animals, I think for that little Scotty, just that time of just to stop and experience the comfort, experience the connection. How about the iron, to iron things out when things are a little rough? You might make notes with the holidays coming up and lots of family coming together, try to iron things out ahead of time. And then the top hat, to dress to impress. Sometimes you're just feeling really good about this game of life, and we just want to put it on and just really enjoy and celebrate it. And then when we get into this game of life, we have some options for the moves that we get to make within the game. If you're a chess player, you know that when certain pieces can move one certain, the knight that can move 2 and 3, which is always a strange movement to me. But we all have our choice what kind of moves we're going to make in this game of life. So one of our first choices we make is excuse me, are we going to be reactive or active? When you're playing a game, well, for example, chess, you can make a move against the other side, or you can be reactive in that you're responding to the move that's been made. So in life, if somebody says something to you, do you just listen or do you become reactive to it? On the other hand, do you see a wrong that needs to be righted, or do you see somebody that needs to be comforted and you take that active step in it? Now, sometimes we can get over-functioning and over-responsible for making everybody how we think is right and perfect and comfortable. And that's kind of a choice we make too when it's like we're going to make ourselves master of the game, whether they want it, or not. We want to make everybody what we think is the perfect way to be. So active or reactive. Then we get to be either a facilitator, making things easier for people, or a fixer. We're going to go out there and fix it to make it our way. We always have that choice. And what's really great is that as we grow spiritually, we get this broader spectrum of how we can respond. Things are not black and white. That we live in a relative world. It's not hot and cold, high and low. It's this whole spectrum of relationships, a whole spectrum of emotions. There's not just two choices in life, yes or no, living or dying. There is this wonderful, broad experience for us. And then, as we've always heard about fight or flight, when something scares us, something causes us to be off balance, but it's really fight, flight, fear. But there's that fourth choice of face it. What happens if we just look it in the eye, whatever it is that's happening in our lives or in our world? That we make a change because we're watching it. We're not sitting there with blinders on it or dark glasses that we can't see what's happening. We look at it open-eyed and decide how we're going to go forward. And what's going to do to us is going to cause us to change. Instead of being in that resistant mode, we're going to be more in a mode of a flow. And every time that we can make those kind of changes in our thinking and being, every time that we can release our need to fix or to react and overreact, what happens is there's this growth that starts happening within us. We start knowing there's only one power and one presence, and we are part of it, and we stop being resistant to being part of it. So the system then recalibrates. An amazing thing, those buttons that people push that get our ire up, they start disconnecting. Somebody pulls the wires on them. They're just out of power anymore. The other thing that happens is we know we've had that change internally, but it takes a while for the whole system, the whole game to catch up with us. So being patient with ourselves and others as we grow through whatever we happen to be growing through in our own life is really important. God's speed is not the race car. It's, as fast as the slowest part of us feels safe to go. Now, in this game, there is a wild card. And the wild card is a spoken word. In fact, the spoken word was so strong with Florence Shinn that after she wrote The Game of Life, then she wrote a book called Your Word is Your Wand. And then after she died in 1940, they found some documents and published a new book 5 years after she died, The Power of the Spoken Word. Really reminding us that these words that we speak, first of all, they send out a vibration into the universe. And we know and we all understand magnets. Our words are very similar to that co-creating, to drawing that to us that we resonate with. But the words also represent what's going on in here. What's going on with our mind and our heart, and this kind of heart-mind, this deep wisdom, or where our soul's expressing. The words that we speak tell us about that internal process. One of the wisest things we can do is listen to what we're saying. We got old things that we just throw out. I sometimes sing them. I'm one that songs keep coming to mind when something happens in life. It can drive people around me crazy. But anyway, so we have this wild card that can be used however we want to use it. Every time we speak, we're influencing the world. Think about that. And that's really reflective. Every time we think, we're influencing the world. Every time we're having that emotion, we're having that influence. And words can create, but they can also destroy. Probably every one of us has destroyed a friendship accidentally or in anger over something that came out of our mouths. So knowing that we have this great power, we aren't limited in it. We were given full reign of how to use that. Sometimes a wild card becomes a joker. And I mean that in the sense that sometimes as we get into this idea that our words co-create in our world, that it's influencing the world, we think we're doing it ourselves as humans, that we have the power. So that whole idea of a wild card is really about hope and possibilities. When it becomes a joker, when it becomes just totally out of control, is when it shifts our thinking to think we are doing it out of our own power. And so this idea of imagination, which is open to all these ideas that are ready to come into fruition, becomes concretized. It becomes solid. And when it becomes solid like that, it doesn't move. It's like the story of Lot's wife turning around and looking at the past and turning into salt, preserving the past. Whenever we get stuck into that one moment of rightness, I've imagined this, so this is at end of conversation. We have just stopped the whole process. You may still be on the game board, but you're not going anyplace. You know, if it's Monopoly, you're in prison for more than 3 turns sometimes. I've found that I think, for me, one of the biggest things of life is the idea of non-resistance. And I had a little example. Derek, you want to come up here a minute? You want to be an example? Do you know what it means to be non-resistant? Huh? I was wondering if you knew what it meant to be non-resistant. Here's what I want you to do. Can you stick out your fingers? And I want you to put them in there till they touch. Get them all the way in there. Are they touching each other? Now, try to get them out. See, he's resisting it. You're a strong one. You're a strong one. Okay, let me show you a secret. Instead of trying to resist it by pulling it out, if we push it in really gently, and it expands it and makes it bigger. And look how easy that came off. You will never forget what non-resistance is. Okay, I'll give you some other ones you can take back there and try. As humans, we go into that human doing as opposed to human beings. Yeah, you can go back down and you can share them, or you can take them home, share them with a friend, and show them what you learned today. They say that resistance is hell because we're always in a state of torment when we're trying to resist what's going on. But when we're non-resistant, there's nothing that can resist us. When we're non-resistant to the flow. In the quest this week, they're talking about a water wheel, and how you look at that water wheel moving, and it seems like the water wheel has the power, when in truth, it's the water that provides the power. So sometimes as humans, when we start getting resistant, we become like that water wheel I want to go the other way. I'm tired of always going this way. I want to go that way. And what would happen? I mean, the water wheel would just crush under the weight of the water trying to go in its flow as it was resisting it. So, and Jesus said this, and actually it was mentioned in the Daily Word today. He said, don't resist evil. Don't be overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good, or with God. And at Unity, we understand evil to mean error. There's only one power, one presence. So when things seem to be yucky, technical word term there, it's really about cumulative error. Error thinking, error actions. So if you think about don't resist error, we all make mistakes. And it hasn't killed us yet, right? Don't be overcome with error, but overcome error with God or with good, knowing that it's just simply a way to redirect us as we move on in our life. Error is that idea that false, this is what Florence Shinn said in her book, a false law man has made for himself through psychoma or soul sleep. So psychoma is a word that was popular at that time. that says we are so hypnotized by the outer world. It looks so real, it feels so real, that we have this experience that we think it's real, and we think we're captivated by it. So our soul kind of steps back, and we're all in our reasoning mind, our conscious mind, which is like having imagination concretized into the solid, so there's no room for any other new ideas. Well, there's an old legend that the story of Adam and Eve in the Mayan philosophy was that they ate of the Maya tree of illusion. And after they ate from that, they saw two powers instead of one. That they saw that there was a dark side and a light side instead of seeing it's all-sided, if you will. So a little game of illusion. I just want to play this for you. There we go. It's often a matter of perspective. Do you see this little girl there holding the cherry? Looks pretty real to me. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Watch this one. Oh! See if it is. It's so much fun to look at these illusions. You want them to be real, right? But here's what they are doing. It's called a green screen, and the photographer is able to combine two living things to make it into one. When you think about it, which pictures do you prefer to look to? We love looking at the illusions. It has its lock, stock, and barrel. Absolutely amazing. No wonder that this happens to us in life. Even when we know how it's done, even when we see behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, we still prefer the illusion. I mean, isn't that amazing? Yeah, I just love that little girl. Love that little girl. Okay, so that's the game of illusion that we're buying into. Oh, one more. So as we're playing this game, are we winning or are we whining? As I talked last week about the 3 levels of consciousness, that we have our conscious mind that we're very aware of, our thinking, reasoning nature. We have our subconscious, which is actually this pivotal role within us that can look to the outer world and the illusion and go, that's the truth. But it can also look internally to that super consciousness, that God mind, the divinity, the infinite that is within us. And as we live our life, it's about connecting with that super consciousness and just being the observer of our consciousness. We can observe that we love to look at those illusions and know that they're illusions. Know that there is not in this world little tiny people that are hiding in corn stalks, or riding the back of little birds on the beach. Our choice, looking life from the outside in, which is kind of fun and appealing, or looking at life from the inside, from that sparkle, that divinity, that light outward. So improve your score here. Don't you love to get a really good word when you're playing Scrabble and you get the double or triple your word score? And we get to do the same thing in our life. We can improve our score. Frank Kafka said, you need not do anything, remaining sitting at your table and listen. You need not even wait. Just learn to be quiet, still, solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you, unmasked. And here's the important one. It has no choice. The world will roll in ecstasy at your feet when we're seeing the world from the inside out. Jesus said, my yoke is easy, my burden light. And I always thought, what is he talking about? What is he talking about with that? Well, if you think about gravity, gravity is the only thing that gives things weight. And if you had a huge boulder, you couldn't lift it up. But if you had a way of moving it up into space, all of a sudden it would weigh nothing. It was on the moon. You could probably pick it up with one finger. It's the same way with us. Whenever we can take that boulder, that heaviness, that attachment to the outcome that just seems overwhelming to get through, we are giving it weight with our personal gravity. We are giving it weight because we are seeing the world from the outside in, and it feels too heavy to handle. But on the other way, if we can raise that challenge, that boulder in our life, into the super consciousness, Just like taking that boulder into space that no longer has weight in our life or on our heart. And while all this is going on, from time to time you need to recharge. We know all games have batteries on Christmas Day that you forgot to get. But if your flashlight stops working, you don't throw the flashlight out, you change the batteries. The same way with us as we are with each other in community. Some need AA, they need attention and affection, different size batteries. Some need AAA batteries, attention, affection, and acceptance. Some need a big C battery for compassion. And some need a D battery, that really solid D battery, because they're looking for direction in their life. Or we can just simply share our light. We can be the sparkle going forward. Let's take a few moments of meditation. And I'm just going to invite you to take a deep breath and close your eyes if that's comfortable. And focus on the internal. Move yourself into that soul space, that connection to the divine, that connection to the illusion. As we allow ourselves to be authentically ourselves, as we remember that each of us are such a spectacular light for this world, we are able to find ourselves in the flow, in a flow that allows the power, that allows the privilege of living, that allows the gift of connecting. As we sit in this calm and in this harmony, let us become aware of anything that wants to move in the other direction, that resistance to our own good, that resistance to actually moving forward, to growing in ways that our soul yearns to grow. As we feel that resistance, we simply breathe into it. Give it the love. Give it the compassion. Recharge it in whatever way it needs to be recharged so that it might let go. That it might let go and let God be God in our lives. We take a deep breath, once again feeling the flow. If another resistance comes up, we too love it and raise it up to that highest expression so it might no longer weight down upon our hearts. And we can repeat this process as often as necessary, gently and efficiently dewiring any of those buttons that may feel are pushed by even those most close to us. And with every disconnect, with every release, the flow becomes greater. And we are gifted with that magnificent gift of imagination to see the truth, to see the possibility, to see the wonder. For this truth and for the light that shines within us and for the light that we are now able to see in each and every other person in our world, we say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment of the day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, there may be walls, there may be roadblocks on my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that kept me down.
So spiritual practice for the week, try practicing mindful non-resistant. Be really conscious of where you're being resistant. And so, for example, you're hitting all red lights on the way to an appointment and you're running late. How could you be non-resistant to that? Or you got lunch with a friend you're so looking forward to and it gets canceled. Or you're playing Monopoly and somebody took your favorite player piece. Non-resistant. Okay, and with that, I get to invite our wonderful string trio to come back. Oh, there you are, over there. Last time I saw you were over there. Do you normally get up this early on a Sunday morning?
Hi. Hope you're having a good Sunday morning. We're a string trio from Okemos High School. My name is Sophia.
My name is Dave.
And my name's Adelina. And we're going to play you Into the Garden right now.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful. Now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by sharing of the blessings we have received. We know that the gift we give is not a debt we owe. It is a seed we sow from the consciousness of abundance. For those in person in our sanctuary, please place your cash or check in the glass jar on the table. Alternately, whether in person or online, you may point your phone at the QR box on our screen and give through PayPal. Regular givers, electronically or by mail, may affirm their gifts with an affirmation token into or your hand placed over the jar or on your heart. We bless our gifts as we share of our love and our treasure by affirming together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Forming a circle of generosity, we thank everyone for their continued generous support of Unity through so many channels, electronically, by mail, or in person. Our circle includes acts of gratitude for these many gifts by sharing what we have with others. Our fourth quarter tithes are divided among the reminding nominees, Helping Women, Meta Peace Team, and the City Rescue Mission. These are all organizations that are focused on people helping people with their dignity, peace, and physical needs. We'll continue acknowledging our blessings as we sing, I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
Derek? To lead us in a blessing, I'd like to invite Derek to lead us in a blessing of the gifts we've received as a community. Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table.
Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit, and so it is. Amen.
Thanks, Derek. Thank you to everyone who helped us meet our goal to replace all of the lights in the sanctuary. And very grateful for the people who placed the bulbs in their sockets. We even exceeded our goal, so we will use the additional funds to brighten up the outside front and back entry, as well as install improved lighting in the upper lodge. And I have to tell you, I've watched Jerry, Stacy, and Tom at work, And oh my gosh, I watched the lights being replaced up there in the lodge. I was on the edge of my seat. What a feat. What a gift they give. Yay! Thank you. A reminder that in 2 weeks is our big celebration day, a Thanksgiving potluck.
Go back when you missed one. Thank you for Circulation Day.
Thank you. It's finally complete, the Circulation Day. Thank you to all the volunteers who cleaned up the pole barn, boxed the remaining items, and delivered them to Goodwill. Following service today, the Caring Circle will take place in the activity room right off the sanctuary. Also, the education team will be meeting in the upper lodge to work on offerings for 2025. Everyone is welcome to both groups. Now a reminder that in 2 weeks is our big celebration day, a Thanksgiving potluck, Friendship Sunday, and decorating for Christmas. Did the sign-up sheets get all the way around?
I think it did, and we've got some wonderful food coming. We're asking people to cook turkeys. So if anybody would like to cook a turkey, get with me.
Okay.
We have funding available if somebody would like to have funding to buy the turkey.
And time to start thinking about bringing a friend with you, because that's also our Friendship Day.
And Tricosi just had a quick announcement about Call for Kids.
Hello, can y'all hear me? Hold on. I don't know if y'all can hear me. So, me and the boys are in modeling now, and on the December 8th, we have a fashion show, kid fashion show. But this Thursday on the 14th, they're having a casting call for kids to come who want to be in the fashion show. You don't need any experience, and it's 5:30 to 6:30, and
Where?
at Foster Community Center, and it's kids 5 to 17. So if y'all have any kids or know any kids who would like to be in a fashion show and want the experience, y'all can reach out to me, and I can give y'all more information.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The November Unity Pulse is on your tables, has details of our activities here at Unity. Feel free to take a copy of the Unity Pulse with you. You can also check Unity's website or sign up for the weekly e-news to keep current on what's happening. So let's create a consciousness of community as we sing the peace song, followed by the prayer of protection. Feel free to stand in place or to join the circle.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.